Welcome to the Monarch Group Podcast. Today's guest is Nick Wright, the owner of Right Choice Home Inspection Services and Breathe Right Indoor Air Quality. They have built a reputation for being one of the most thorough and trusted inspectors in the area, helping buyers, sellers, and homeowners catch what others may miss. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me today.
No, absolutely. How you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, enjoying this nice weather we're having.
It's a little chilly today.
Yeah.
It's a little cold. I woke up and haven't had my heat on yet, and I was like, oh, okay, this is new. Turn that furnace on, and hopefully it kicks in.
That time of year to turn them on.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast, Nick. Would love to start about talking about your background, how you got into the inspection services, and how you built your companies.
Okay, so throughout my adult career, I'd been in the commercial construction industry since graduating high school. Worked for a couple different companies doing commercial construction, building large buildings out of town and stuff like that. My wife at the time, she was a hairstylist at a salon. And randomly one day I got laid off from my job. I was devastated, and I called her, informed her about that. And one of her longtime clients that she had, actually her and her husband owned a local franchise of a home inspection company. And she kind of told her the news that day and stuff. And she's like, man, with Nick's background, he would be a fantastic home inspector. And Jenny came home that day from work and kind of put the bug in my ear about that. And I was like, never really thought about it as a profession or anything. We had had a couple home inspections through the homes that we purchased in the past and everything. I literally Googled traits of a home inspector, and it literally described my entire adult career background all into one job. And I'm like, holy crap, this is me. So that night, decided to pull the trigger on it, came up with our company name. I sketched out a logo. I had an uncle at the time that was doing some marketing on the side and stuff like that. He designed our logo and stuff, and found a school that started the following week. And I was like, I'm going to become an entrepreneur now. So yeah, just pulled the trigger on it and got licensed pretty quickly. And through my sphere of influence and my contacts I knew and stuff, I was ready to go probably a month after making that decision. And I had a job the first day I announced I was ready to start working.
Wow,
Yeah.
I was not expecting that background, and it's so funny how you go from getting laid off from your job thinking that's the end of the world to then building what now is a great company that you've got. So what sort of scale of buildings were you doing in the commercial space?
I was doing anything from hospitals to restaurants to schools, stuff like that. I would actually manage the projects from the ground up. I'd get sent out of town with a set of blueprints, and I'd have to manage the electricians, the HVAC people, the framers, the roofers, whole nine yards. So it really qualified me to inspect homes in general, but I felt like I had elevated knowledge compared to your average home inspector being in the commercial industry for, I guess it was 13 years before starting this.
Yeah, that's a good background going from such a huge scale down to a house. I mean, you've got to prefer houses now after doing it for so long. What would you say is the mission of your companies?
Our mission, I've taken great pride since day one on customer service, but ultimately it's to educate our clients with any of our companies. I want to give you the most knowledge and details that I can provide you with to make the best decision possible. As you know, purchasing a home is one of the biggest purchases you'll make in your entire life, and I want everybody to know the ins and outs and every single little detail possible so they can make the best decision possible moving forward.
Absolutely, and that's something that I tell my buyers when I have when I go through the process with them, and I'm going through my whole buyer presentation. When we get to the home inspection part, I'm like, it's going to be a few $100s, it's going to be around $600-700 depending on what you get, but it's the most important money that you'll spend in the entire process. Because if you don't do it, you go into the house and then you got $20,000 worth of damage that you could have known if you'd had the home inspection. So moving into the home inspection process now, what would you say are the biggest mistakes that people go through when getting a home inspection or not getting a home inspection?
So, I mean, as you just said, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, is not getting one. We just had a client, I think it was last Friday, called in, and they had booked the appointment, but then they found out that the seller was not going to repair anything. They're buying it as is. And he called back and was like, I'm going to cancel my inspection because they're not going to fix anything. I'm like, sir, you really still need to know the ins and outs of your home, and what we could find something catastrophic and you may not want to purchase that home. It's especially during the COVID era, a lot of people were foregoing the inspections to get the deal done quicker and stuff. And that's one of the biggest mistakes, is just not doing it. Second biggest mistake is going with the I call him Cheap Charlie, I guess. We get people price shopping every day, and this is not something you want to skimp money on or try to save money by going with somebody cheaper. We're not the most expensive by any means, but if you got 3 different quotes, you don't want to go with the $100 guy. You want to pick somebody that's good, reputable, good Google reviews, everything like that. But we see a lot of people that either can't afford one or want to try to save money during that process, and it's not the time to do that.
Yeah, and you pay for quality and that sort of thing. And like we've said, it's saving you money down the line. And did that client end up going and getting the home inspection?
Yes, we talked him into booking it. And it took a little bit of convincing, but I was like, would you buy a car without the Carfax?
Yeah. And what if they're selling it as is because they know there's a huge issue going on? So you want to know that ahead of time. What's the typical home inspection process? How does that work then from when booking to get into the house? From when they get to the house.
Yeah, so once we get you booked, everything's confirmed and stuff. We encourage all of our clients to be present with us during the inspection. We like to have it be an interactive experience. A lot of other inspectors just like to do the job and get out of there and maybe not even see the client, but we actually take the time to show you how to change your air filter, where your water shutoffs are, stuff like that. But typical inspection, we say it lasts about an hour per 1,000 square feet, but we start on the outside of the home. We're looking at everything, literally top to bottom, inside and out, but we're going to look at the roof, the exterior, windows, doors, check all your plumbing, HVAC, your structure, literally everything. We operate the furnace, pull off the electric panel, look at all your wiring, make sure nothing's overheated or wired incorrectly and stuff like that. It's just a full examination of the home, top to bottom. Once that's complete, we provide you with the full digital detailed report. It's got pictures, video in it, explanation of our findings. I've actually got recommended contractors that your client could reach out to and get quotes for stuff like that for the findings that we found to get repaired. It was a simple process, and we just like to make it an interactive learning process, like I said.
And that makes a big difference, especially when it's at the the final review, because I know that what a lot of buyers or sellers might not understand is that on that review process is that there's different ways that a problem can be explained. And I know your company explains it in the right way, where it's the information that's needed, because there's a lot of companies out there who almost scare clients, and that's not the point. Like you said, it's all informational.
Yeah.
So I really love that aspect, and also your back end website server and the reports is one of the best. It's easy to read, easy to work with, so that makes a big difference. Now, you all work in the Kentucky, Southern Indiana area. What would you say are the typical things that you see on a home inspection report in this area?
Most common things that we see in our area, probably roof related, and then also we have a lot of older homes in our area, and they're built on crawl spaces. Our region is the Midwest and stuff. There are a lot of crawl spaces in our area, and it's just a lot of issues with those unless they're brand new. They've changed construction techniques and stuff since the 70s and 60s when a lot of these were built, but 99% of the homes that are older with a crawl space, we're going to go in there and see mold, moisture, foundation issues, stuff like that. Going back to the roofs, with the weather that we have in this area, in our region, we get the thunderstorms, hailstorms, high winds, tornadoes. Not everybody looks at their roof after every single storm we have and stuff. And a lot of people are surprised that they've got hail damage when we go out to check out their house and stuff like that.
Yeah, and are you all getting up on the roofs every time?
Yes, everyone that we could safely walk.
And what about the ones that don't?
The ones that we cannot safely walk, they will look at it from the gutter area with a ladder, and then all of our inspectors are equipped with drones. They're all licensed to operate them and everything, but we could do full video, photography of them and everything. So,
nice. So still getting that full inspection even without.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've never wanted to be an inspector that said sorry, couldn't see it, couldn't look at that, couldn't access it. So we've equipped our guys with a lot of cool technology and tools and stuff to be able to provide you with as much information as we can.
Nice. And you got the thermal imaging as well, correct?
Yeah, we include that now, complimentary with every inspection. That's one of the latest technology things that's came out, accessible to the public and stuff, but literally almost gives you an x-ray view behind the walls. When we use those, you could see moisture damage, moisture stains. You can actually see where all the studs are in the wall and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you a more in-depth view of stuff. It's really cool technology that they got.
So if a buyer does looks at their inspection report and sees it's got that thermal imaging, there's an error or an issue that you'll have seen. What is the process from that then? Does the wall have to be taken out to be looked more into detail, or is there other signs?
It depends if it's behind a wall. Most of the issues we find are typically located on like a ceiling area or something where you can access it from an attic space or something. But we would recommend further investigation. It may involve removing some drywall off a wall to see if there's moisture problems behind it or something like that. But we would recommend a contractor at that point do a little bit more in-depth investigation. Got
it. And when a buyer has done a home inspection report and they've made a repair request, and then sellers said they've made repair requests, would you all come back and inspect afterwards as well?
We do get a lot of people asking that. My number one recommendation is always to get that documentation from a reputable company. You don't want Uncle Bob out there saying he fixed all the electric and stuff with no documents or license or anything. But if they're a reputable business and can provide you an invoice with what they've done, I was like, at that point, it's on their shoulders or in their hands for responsibility for that. But we do get a lot of clients having us come back and double checking those contractors' repairs and stuff.
And that just gives them the peace of mind as well. It's just someone they can trust who's got visually seen it before and after, can actually know that there's been a difference.
Yeah, I mean, saying peace of mind, that's like our whole mission with that too. It's just to ease their mind, provide them with the most knowledge about their property and stuff. It just makes them feel good and know that things were looked at the right way.
And is that a full inspection cost that is?
Yes.
A full inspection to just inspect the items?
To re-inspect those, we would have a cheaper re-inspection cost.
Okay, awesome. See, and that's a no-brainer there as well. You know, as much as you want to trust the other people, always got to do your due diligence.
It's good having our knowledge and stuff, because if you were to pay an electrician to come out and check the electric, a plumber, you're going to be thousands of dollars, where we have one set fee, and we're educated enough to look at all those different trades.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sure most of the percentage of people that are using your services are buyers. How many sellers are you working with at the moment?
We're working with a lot of builders right now doing some pre-listing inspections. We do get the occasional homeowner that calls us out of the blue saying, like, I'm thinking about selling here in 6 months or so, and they want us to come give them like a whole punch list of things that we found just to help create transparency and stuff when they go to sell.
Okay, do you recommend that?
Oh, highly recommend that. I personally would do it myself. A lot of agents are kind of against it or on the fence about it, but I like I said, I do think it creates transparency. You can say, Right Choice came out here on this date, found XYZ. We fixed all these things. Here's the invoices. Have it inspected if you want to still. But I think it does show that you're being proactive during the transaction. You actually put some thought and care behind the sale of your home, and just showing that you wanted to have things as seamless and easy as possible.
Absolutely, and I'd agree with that, because I've seen a few homes. I showed it to buyers that have that an inspection report, and it shows that they fixed it. But that's the other thing I'm saying to the sellers, like, look, if you're gonna have the inspection, just know you have to disclose all this stuff. Yeah. And if you can fix it, then go ahead. That'd be great. It shows buyers that you're willing to work on your property and you're doing the right things to get it taken care of, or show there's not really much going on and your house is in good condition, which also gives peace of mind.
Right.
Now, we mainly talked about your home inspection company. The other one is Wright, which is a little newer from your home inspection company, correct?
Yes. So going into the home inspection business, I was doing my own radon testing. I got licensed for that right away, doing the home inspections. They go hand in hand. In 2020, my wife was working with us in the inspection company, and she actually put the bug in my ear. She's like, hey, it's time we need to start doing our own radon testing, radon mitigations, everything. So that's actually a woman-owned business. My wife, Jenny, is the owner of that. Proud female-owned business, but we've been doing that since 2020. And we're fully licensed in both states to do radon testing and mitigation. That company also does air quality testing. So we do indoor air quality, mold testing, lead, asbestos testing as well. I'm actually just recently got on the state board of Indiana for radon. So
awesome.
It's
Congratulations.
pretty exciting, yeah.
Now, not a lot of people know what radon is. What is it?
So radon is an odorless gas. You can't see it. You can't smell it. It comes from the ground surrounding your home. It comes from the earth, but it comes in through any penetrations where you have pipes coming through your home, any cracks in the foundation or floors, stuff like that. It's heavier than air, so it finds its way into your home and actually will sit in like the lowest level of your home. but it's a naturally occurring radioactive gas, and believe it or not, it's the second leading cause of lung cancer behind smoking. So a lot of people are not aware of that. They hear radon, they think it's a myth or something like that. But I've actually met 2 people in person in the past couple of years that were diagnosed with lung cancer, and the doctor related it directly to radon.
Wow. So yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always known it's important, but hearing that, I mean, it's a big deal. I always recommend people should have a test for it. Mm-hmm. Is it in every house they should? Like that some people said about crawl spaces and basements, that it's different. Do you recommend every
that's
house?
another myth, I guess, like we can debunk today. But I hear agents all the time, like, this home's on a slab, it's not going to have radon, or this home was built in 1900, it's not going to have radon. Every home in our region has it. It just depends on the level. There's no home in our region that we live in that's going to be a 0.0 when you do a test. The only way to know if you have it is to test for it. But we're in Region 1 on the EPA has a nationally wide map, and we have to submit our test results to the state every year, and it shows each county by county and state. But you can pull up this map and see it goes from like red to orange to yellow. Red's the worst, and the whole area that we're in is just lit up red. Wow. So we're in a high concentration area, and you're supposed to test your home every 2 years for radon, whether it was low before or high before, whatever. It fluctuates. It's like a living, breathing thing.
Wow. And what's the cost of a radon? What's the cost of the radon test?
The test is only $175 to test for that, and that's a minimum of a 48-hour test. For a real estate transaction, we're going to set that test for 48 hours. For your average homeowner, though, it is recommended that you typically test like minimum of, I think it's like 3 to 5 days, just to get more accurate long-term results. But the longer you could test, the more accurate the results will be. But for real estate, it's just a 48-hour quick test.
And $175 for the repercussions of not and the potential dangers. It's a no-brainer there. Yeah. That's why I always recommend people to have that done. And what's the typical system cost to have it mitigated?
Typical mitigation system starts at about $1,300, depending on the home. Each install is different on those, depending if you have a crawl space, slab, basement, whatever. They all vary a little bit, but the starting price is around $1,300.
Okay, and that's either lung cancer, $1,300. That's an easy choice right there.
We read some stuff recently too. We pushed that a lot with people that have children. I didn't know or think about it really, but kids with their lungs developing and stuff, they are way more susceptible to the radioactive gas than adults are, because your lungs are already developed and everything. So anybody that calls and mentions kids and stuff, we really tell them, like, you definitely want to get the test done to see if your home's clear or not.
Absolutely. And another section of that company is, you said, the air quality. Now, I'm assuming that they work hand in hand. If the home inspection sees something that could be,
yes,
they're testing it. What are the things you're seeing, like mold? Is it that sort of thing that's pulling up?
Yeah, so like during the inspection process, if our inspector sees any type of mold or fungal growth or anything like that, they're going to note that in the report. We will recommend that client call in to Breathe Right, and we can perform an air quality test. It takes samples of the air, and it will tell you literally any mold spores, what kind they are, the concentration level of them and stuff. And we also recently started offering air particle testing. So people that are really susceptible to like allergens, have asthma, stuff like that, we could take an air sample, and it will tell you the types of dust that are in your home, like dander, pet hair, it'll tell you anything. So if you're highly allergic to certain things and susceptible to those, we can actually identify those through an air test, and it'll give you a full report on what's in your air.
Wow. Is that something that you're able to treat as well, or do you just give recommendations?
Currently, we do not treat that. We have some good recommended contractors that we refer for that.
Okay, and what is the treatment for that? What's that
it all depends on the type. Sometimes they remove it. Most treatments in our area, they're going to do some type of spray application, which like neutralizes the mold or creates like a barrier to keep it still and stuff, where it can't become airborne.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've seen one of those reports before, and they are very complex in a good way. My best friend ChatGPT helped me read through one of those reports before, but I think it's good to know, especially for people who are, maybe immunocompromised, or they do already, like you said, allergens. It'd be good to know ahead of time. In the Louisville area and the southern Indiana, what is it that you love most about helping people in this area?
Like I said, I really get a kick personally, and I think my inspectors do, about the educational aspect of it. Just really putting your mind at ease, letting you know you're making a sound investment, just being a part of that big process in your life. I mean, you only buy a house a handful of times throughout your life, and allowing us to be a part of that process, I think it gives you like the feel goods inside. And all of our guys really enjoy showing off their knowledge and teaching people and answering all the questions that they got. I think like getting the gratitude from the clients. You can check out our reviews about. We had one today, like Ian was so awesome, like very informative, very thorough, very detailed. And it's like just taking the time to do that and make it more of a personal experience. Like we're there for you as the client and stuff, and just want to make you feel like you're buying what your dream home is.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Love that. That's what people want. I had a question, but it's gone from. It's a few things about the home inspection process. So I know one difficult thing, it's always, you've got a disclaimer in the home inspection process, is not everything you can test. Could you explain that a little bit about what you can't test, and maybe what some limitations are because of a certain home?
So according to we're a part of InterNACHI, which is a national home inspector organization. They've got their own standards of practice that we have to adhere to. And that's like the minimum base guidelines that an inspector has to follow. We do go above and beyond that, but we always explain, we have our little driveway speech we do as soon as we meet the client and stuff like that. But we tell them we cannot be invasive. So if we see a crack in the wall or something, we cannot cut into a wall to find out what's caused that crack or something like that. But it's just a visual, non-invasive inspection, and it's what's readily accessible. So we're not allowed to move furniture. We're not allowed to take things apart, aside of an electric panel or something like that. But if there's we see it all the time. There'll be an attic hatch right above me, and somebody's got their brand new flat screen TV sitting there. We cannot move that to get to that attic and stuff. So some of the limitations usually occur from homeowners' property being in the way or things being locked. But we do list all those, and we verbally go over those with the client. Say we weren't able to get in the crawl space today. There's standing water in there or something. Anything that could pose a risk to our safety, we're not going to inspect. But also, if it's not readily accessible, we cannot inspect it.
Yeah, and that's one thing about buying a house, is that there's going to be something that pops up. There's always something. I always tell people, no matter what the home inspection says, there's always going to be something, because things don't always show up. You're only there for a small amount of time, and your company home inspector's going to see what they see, and there's going to be things that show up. The next time the weather changes, maybe it was dry that day, and then the next time it rains, something shows up. Yeah. So that's why it's great to just have the home inspection, but there's only so much the home inspection can do because of the certain parameters.
No, and going off of that, that's why we've we partnered with Home Membership here in Louisville. Troy Cummings created an awesome product for all of our clients, and we provide each client with a 90-day home inspection warranty for those little things that we may have overlooked or couldn't see that day. It covers electric, plumbing, HVAC, and kitchen appliances. So the other day, for instance, we had a client call in and said their refrigerator started leaking. Why didn't we see that? We've got 7 photos of the refrigerator where it's bone dry underneath the day of inspection. I'm like, stuff happens like that. It's part of being a homeowner. But our client got free money reimbursed to them for getting the refrigerator fixed from the warranty that we provide them.
Wow. And that's with every home inspection?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. That's a big thing that I think even I usual. It's not explained to my clients. That's definitely something I'm going to let them know about. It's
additional peace of mind to know if we did miss something minor or something does malfunction or break in between the time that we did the inspection and you move in. It could be, you can get money back to fix those things.
Yeah. It also shows how much you stand behind your product as well, because, if something's going to happen, it's something just out of the blue or you were not aware of or couldn't see. So I think that's a great testament. Now, being in this area, one question I always love to ask people, it's overwhelming, so do your best, but favorite place to go out and eat, either in Southern Indiana or Louisville? It's my number one question I got to ask people.
Favorite place to go out and eat? I'm always a big fan of Jeff Ruby's.
Good choice.
No, I love the atmosphere there, the music. Their steaks are top notch. But that's my go-to place if I get to choose where we're going.
Yeah,
So.
that's a good one. I would agree with that. Anytime I get to go there, I'm a happy person.
Never disappointed there.
Yeah. Now that's it. Now, do you live in Louisville or in?
Yeah, we live across the river in southern Indiana.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
picking a Louisville restaurant.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. See, that's where your allegiance should be.
We
on the
don't have
Louisville
as,
side.
as many good high-end options as you all have over here.
There's a lot coming through on the Indiana side there. Like I've been licensed there for about a year now, and I just love seeing the development. So and I enjoy going over. I was actually there this morning showing houses,
Yeah.
so it's great going over there. I do enjoy it. And for people who are wanting to get home inspection with you all, what's the best way they can get hold of you?
The easiest way is we can actually book on our website 24/7. We've got an online form that you can actually pick your inspector, the date, time, everything. So if you're too busy or you're doing it after hours when we're not answering the phone, you can book online. But do encourage everybody to call or text our business phone number, which is 502-822-6484. You can call or text that. We have two awesome client care coordinators, Jessica and Lindsay. We actually answer the phone physically from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday, actually.
Nice, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a good hours. So we'll make sure we have that number in there. And segue off of that question, actually, if someone's had a home inspection with you all and they can't quite remember what was said, can they call back and be like, hey, could you re-explain this?
All of our inspectors, we actually give them business cards and they hand those to the client. It's got their personal phone number on there. We do encourage questions afterwards, and they're always open to answer the phone or text and answer any questions that you may have.
Awesome. And that makes a big difference because I've had a lot of clients who, there's a lot going on during the home buying process. So they're at their home inspection and then they instantly forget. And I'm like, just call the inspector. They'll happily go through it with you, which makes a big difference.
I mean, that's part of our 5-star customer service I take pride into. I mean, it's not only the client care coordinators from me and my wife, like taking care of everybody, but also our inspectors genuinely care. They're not there just to do the job and be finished with it. They're there to answer questions afterwards. So
nice. And I know I just want to ask this question so everyone knows that it's not just existing homes. You'll do new inspection homes as well.
Yes,
correct?
we do a lot of new construction inspections as well. A lot of people tend to believe you're not going to find much on a new construction, or the builder tries to deter them, saying like there's going to be nothing wrong, but we find equally amount of items on brand new homes.
Yes,
So,
always. There's no home that will come. I don't think I've ever seen a clean inspection report. There's always at least one item.
We've done probably 20,000 inspections since 2015. We have not one home with 0 items found.
Yeah, there's always a need for a home inspection. Now, outside of having a home inspection, what would you say is a quick tip or a number one tip that you give to people out there?
I would recommend having your home inspected annually. We're working on currently like some type of subscription service where we can come out once a year. Like due to the weather, like I said, we have, it'd be good to have your roof looked at once a year. I don't know a single person that does that until there's some major storm, and then you're dealing with insurance and everything. But just being proactive and having that annual inspection, it could help defer maintenance costs and stuff like that. We can give you your honey-do list and just keeping up with the maintenance of your home. That's majority of the stuff we find. It's just lack of maintenance on properties and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing. Which off of that, I always say to my buyers, when we go through the home inspection, we go through the repair request. No seller's going to fix everything. I mean, I say that most likely no sellers are going to fix everything. So that's your punch list for when you move in the house of everything you need to take care of. So outside of regularly getting it done, make sure you're taking care of those maintenance items you need to going forward. And that subscription thing would be a great, when you get that, I'd be very interested to hear about that. That would be a great product going forward. But any other information you want to share about Wright, your companies, anything else you want to share with the people out there?
Additional services that we provide, we mentioned the mold air quality testing. We also do sewer scope inspections as well. We recommend that on new construction, 100-year-old home, like any type of home. Our personal home, for instance, we built new 7 years ago. I think year 2 of living in the home, our sewer started backing up, and had a plumber come out, do an inspection. The pipe exiting the foundation wall and where it connects in the ground, the plumber had forgot to glue it, and it had actually separated and settled, and we had raw sewage going into our yard underground. It's caused our sewer to stop flowing and backed up and everything. But even on new construction that we've ran into recently, we had one the other day where they were scoping it and ran into a bunch of gravel where they accidentally knocked some rocks in while they're installing the pipe on a brand new home. And I'm like, matter of weeks to a month, your sewer would quit flowing.
Wow. And what's the cost for the sewer scope?
Sewer scope's only $350.
Okay.
So it's cheaper than a plumber. It could be done during the inspection process. Just make it easy as well. It includes a whole video with our deficiencies that we found and stuff, and a cool, easy to read report.
I would highly recommend that, especially with the weather we've had over the last few years. The last rain, the big rain that we had recently, had so many clients calling me that like, hey, I've got some water in my basement. So definitely recommend that to people. Well, just want to thank you for coming on the podcast. You've got a great company, great inspection service. Love using you all. Thank you for coming on.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, to everyone out there, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.